Since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, please.
A few months after war was declared between the U.S. and Japan, the U.S. government arrested over 5,000 Japanese American community leaders on the suspicion that they might be loyal to the Japanese Empire. Most were apprehended at their homes, many in front of their families.
Apparently they came very early in the morning, and my mom went to answer the door, and they kind of shoved her aside, not brutally, but shoved her aside, and then they kind of just stormed the house and shook my father up, made him get up. It was on my sister's 11th birthday.
Next thing you know, I see two strange men bursting into our room. They didn't say a word, but they went through our closet, sticking their hands into all of our little dresses with pockets. They went through our bureau, dumped everything out. They looked under our bed, and then when they got to our toy box, they drew out this gun that my sister and I used to play Lone Ranger with. And they said, "Does your daddy have one of these?" And so we said, "No, these are our toys." And we were so scared, we got dressed in a hurry. We ran downstairs, and I bumped into my mother, who was very upset because they were going through her kitchen. My father was in the dining room talking to the FBI men. It felt like forever. My father told my mother to get some things ready because he would have to go to the detention center.
That day, we were supposed to celebrate her 11th birthday when they came and took him away.
Gee, what a surprise.
Well, my father thought that they'll go through some questioning and then he'll be home in time for birthday cake. He really thought that if you answer a question, cooperate, he'll be home in time for dinner and have birthday with the kids.
And in reality, what happened?
Well, he wasn't reunited with the family for a couple of years.
I think the day that he left Seattle, my mother had a choice of either saying that he left or for us to go down there to the King Street station to see him leave. And I guess she felt that she didn't know whether we were going to ever see him again. So she dressed us all up and took us down there. And about the third or fourth truck, we saw him. So Nob and I, he yelled, "Papa, Papa," and he turned and he looked at us and he started walking over to where we were. And we just bombarded him with questions like, "Where are you going, And how come you have to leave us? Can we go with you?" We just asked him all kinds of questions, and he didn't know, so he couldn't answer us. He was trying to comfort us, but by then the guards came and said he had to board the train. And so we're hanging on to the bars with our little faces stuck through it, tears streaming down our faces, and we're yelling for him. And he turned around once and saw us, and he hurriedly got up the stairs. And he said afterward, he told me that he sat down in the chair closest to him, and he said the first time in his life he cried.
In 1942, the American government incarcerated more than 125,000 men, women, and children of Japanese descent. Many gave up their homes and businesses in the process. These people and families, many of whom were American citizens, lived in temporary facilities called assembly centers for several months until government workers finished building the final concentration camps. There were 11 camps in total. Not long after their father's arrest, government agents incarcerated the sisters and their mother at the Puyallup Assembly Center, 30 miles south of Seattle. After 4 months, the government sent them to a newly built camp called Minidoka in Idaho. Life was hard, especially for the girl's mother, who had to do everything for her 4 children for 2 years without her husband.
The day when we were to be bussed out, we each had a job to do. My job was to carry her, Minkie, the baby of the family. My sister Nobi's job was to keep track of Mako. We each had to carry diapers. And my arms started to get really tired, and I couldn't lift it anymore, so I was going to ask Nobi to change places with me, but she was running around looking for Mako. Then I thought, okay, my arms are going to die, so I have to ask my mom. So I turned around, and it was a picture that I will never forget. All 90 pounds of her. She had 2 suitcases in each hand with shopping bags all the way up her arm. And she was carrying all of the stuff that my sisters and she was going to need for all different weathers, summer and winter, all of our clothes, all of our eating utensils that we were going to need, all of our blankets, and everything that she felt we would need for, I don't know how long she thought we were going to be in camp. I never felt so sorry for her in my life as that. It really opened my eyes up to how sheer willpower could do it, and she did it for us.
The only way the American government would allow the family to be reunited was for the parents to request to be repatriated to Japan if necessary, along with their children, which would give up the sisters' American citizenship. This meant that the family was willing to be traded to Japan for American prisoners of war. Once the parents had signed the document, the government sent the whole family to another camp in Crystal City, Texas. The 2 older sisters and their mother were overjoyed to be with Papa again, but not everyone in the family was happy.
And next thing you know, we pull into the campground, and these men are milling around, and we're looking around to see which one is Papa. And then I hear my sisters saying, "There he is, there he is." And I'm looking around, I see nobody that looks like this distinguished man in this picture. And when he finally comes to the window and he talks to my sisters, I'm thinking, this is my father? I was so disappointed.
Because you're about 7 years old?
I think so,
and
yeah.
you haven't seen him for maybe
and
2 years?
I don't recognize him. I do not recognize him. And my kid sister was scared of him, ran away from him. I was too big to run away from him. I wish I could have. I mean, I didn't like this man.
Mako was very close to her father before the FBI took him away, but distance, time, and the stress of incarceration took a toll on their relationship. The sisters did not know what their papa endured during the years he was separated from his family. He never talked about his imprisonment. The trauma of their separation had an impact that would take many years to heal, especially for the 2 youngest sisters, Mako and Minkie.
In my quiet little world, all of a sudden, this man that I don't even know plunked himself into the middle of it, and I resented it.
I felt really sorry for my father, being that he's especially child-oriented, and Minkie was terrified of him, and we couldn't blame her because he was a stranger, and she really didn't know him. So it took a long time for them to bond.
As I think I was in high school before I really decided that I liked the man. And of course I grew to love him, but it took me a really long time to get used to him.
After the end of World War II, the United States government closed the camps. Kai, Nobi, Mako, Minkie, and their parents eventually returned to Seattle, but their lives were not the same as before their incarceration. Papa never was hired for the same kind of position he had before the war, so they didn't have as much income as they had in the past. All of this happened to the family and thousands of other families because of the U.S. government's fear and distrust of Japanese Americans.